So Blair the Flair Cobbs and Adrian AB about billions, about business, Broner are gonna have a fight. I can't believe it. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I remember seeing it on the social media platforms a couple months ago, and I was like, whatever. Both of these fighters, I'm not really interested in again, like how I used to. Well, not Blair Cobbs. I've never really been interested in Blair Cobbs, but Adrian Broner I used to have a slight interest in. He was like dubbed Baby Floyd Mayweather. I kind of called him Happy Shopper, Budget Floyd Mayweather. Man used to have some man come and brush his hair in the ring after the fight, and that used to give me a joke. I'm like, the guy had man brushing his hair. Come brush my hair and all this rubbish.
Hold on, Max. Hey, Dad, brush my hair one time. Hey, Pops, come brush my hair.
He has his gloves on, so he can't do it himself. Is that right?
All right.
You already know.
Okay. Now I'm more comfortable, Max.
The brush had its own Twitter feed. It was crazy. It was mad. So yeah, they're about to fight. And they're fighting on a Don King's promotion. Don King. Don King ain't been promoted since the 90s. And when you look at his fights these days, they look like they're in the 90s, these fights. Any Sainsbury's or Asda car park in America, what, Walmart or Macy's car park, or any warehouse, any little industrial area, just put a ring in there and get people to just come there and buy a ticket. It just looks so budget. It just looks so budget. But it's happening. He's paying these guys. I remember when Broner signed with Don King, I thought it was a gimmick. I really did. I really thought it was a gimmick. But he's had a couple fights. Well, this is going to be the second fight I think he's going to have with Don King Promotions. The first one was like last year sometime, I think. Yeah. So with that being said, how did we get to this point? How did we get to Blair Cobbs, who's fought as high as middleweight, fighting against Adrian Broner, who's fought as low as featherweight? What's going on? So let's talk about Broner. His career started off well. I liked him at featherweight, won a title down there, and then he was on to fighting Ricky Burns. I liked that. He was like, I'm going to come fight Ricky Burns and get his belt. That was good talk. I liked that. I rated it. But he done this thing where he jumped up too many weight classes too quickly and ended up getting beaten down badly by Maidana. Drops back down a weight, has 3 comeback wins, then has a loss to Sean Porter at a catch weight. He then drops back down a weight class, has 2 or 3 victories, and then comes back and then gets beaten up by Mikey Garcia. Then a year later, he has a draw with Jesse Vargas. Comes back, fight Manny Pacquiao, thinks he won that fight. These times he didn't even throw any punches, but he's saying that he beat Manny Pacquiao. Same thing with Jesse Vargas, actually. He hardly threw any punches in that fight. Take him out, he won. I think he was lucky to get a draw in that fight. I believe that it was a bit of favoritism in the scoring of that fight. That's just my opinion. Anyway, he's gone again after losing to Manny Pacquiao. Gone again for 2 years. Come back. Beats this guy called Giovanni Santiago in a very lackluster fight. I was not impressed. And I vowed I ain't going to watch this guy again. I'm not down. I'm not watching you no more. So anyway, he's gone again for a couple years and he signs to Don King. And he has a fight. I didn't watch it. I didn't care for it. But apparently he won. And now he's got this fight with this Blair Cobbs guy. Now, who is Blair the Flair Cobbs? Woo! Woo! He thinks he's Ric Flair out here. Calls himself Blair the Flair. Goes on like he's Ric Flair. He says, can I get a woo? And all this rubbish. Now, I think that showmanship is missing in boxing these days. I think there's a lack of showmanship. At the same time, if you're going to be a showman, you got to be good. And Blair Cobbs is a showman, but he's not good. I not feel saying good. You get me? I've been watching him, man. No, man, he's not good. He is 34 years old, just like Adrian Broner. But the difference is, Broner has had 40 fights. He won 35 fights, lost 4 fights, drawn 1 fight. Blair Cobbs has had 18 fights and lost 1, drawn 1, won 16. So he's won more than he's lost, but he's not beaten anybody of any note. That's for a fact. Apart from when he beat Maurice Hooker. When he beat Maurice Hooker, Maurice was coming off of a loss to Carlos Ramirez. He then beat Perez, and then he lost to Virgil Ortiz in a quite a bad knockout. And then he fought Blair Cobbs and lost to Blair Cobbs on a unanimous decision. I remember Blair Cobbs knocked him down in the first round, knocked him down twice in, I think maybe the second or third round, something like that. And subsequently won on points. But in my opinion, Maurice Hooker was on his way out at that point in his career. He's actually had a comeback fight at 8 rounds away, knocked out a man in 4 rounds, but we'll see what's going on with Maurice Hooker. So he won that fight. Yeah, well done. He then went on to go missing. I think he got dropped by Golden Boy, his promoter, and was off the scene for 2 years. And now he's here again, coming and fighting Adrian Broner. He come to the press conference for this fight with Broner with a puppet of Adrian Broner. It was giving me joke. I'm like, this guy's mad. Giving me bare joke. Man was up there for 10 minutes with some skit about what Broner's saying at their press conference, with him being the puppet, or him being the puppet master, and Broner's puppet talking and stuff. So he was being a ventriloquist with Broner as the dummy. Up there for good 10 minutes. Broner was late to the press conference. Don't know how late he was, because he sounded like he was quite late. Then he's come to the press conference saying, I ain't gonna stop my training for the press conference. I don't care about y'all. You ain't putting money in my pocket. Broner come in with his rubbish, talking about, you kill, kill you. This stuff, talking like he's a bad boy to Blair Cobbs, talking about his brethren are outside, talking about, you shoot him off. When he said shoot him first, I thought he was talking about his arms are guns, basically. And when he throws his shots, it's gonna be basically shooting him. But he was actually talking about his boys outside with firearms to do him something. I was like, that's just so dumb, Adrian, man. Shut up. I was actually like, shut up, Adrian Broner, man. That's dumb. Let's get to the fight and let's see what happens. I think he's a bit wary of this fight. I think he's a bit scared that he's going to lose. So with that anxiousness and that anxiety, that might make him perform better. I don't rate Broner no more. He lost it, but he's been training with Tank. And Tank's got a fight coming up the following week. Adrian Broner's fighting this week. And so I think maybe camp has been good for him and given him extra motivation. When he came to the press conference, he was wearing a Tank GTD t-shirt. I don't know, maybe that shows that he's locked in the training and he's just coming from training and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But as I said, I don't trust Broner anymore. I can't even predict this fight because I expect Broner should win this fight. Yeah? This Blair Cobbs, I've always said about Blair Cobbs that he's a 30-something-year-old novice. And I don't trust 30-something-year-old novices. Especially when it comes to fighting fights when they're supposed to move up the rankings. When he got beaten by Alexis Rocha, he was chatting all the business, blah, blah. But Alexis Rocha handed him a very, very solid loss. Beat him badly. So, with that being said, who do I expect to win this fight? I actually don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I don't really care, but actually, at the end of the day, these two are like, I find them like comedians of boxing. They're like the comics of boxing. I respect every man that goes in there and trains for however many months to get himself in shape, to go into the ring, to have combat with another person. I respect anybody that does that. All respect is due. But once you're in there, you're supposed to entertain the crowd. And they do their entertaining in the press conference. Blair Cobbs fights from the southpaw position, and he goes on like he's a bit afraid in the ring. When you see him, his eyes are wide open and he's backing off, and then he starts throwing some heavy shots. It's almost like he's a bit just nervous, anxious. And you know Broner goes in there and he throws these hawks, but sometimes he don't throw no shots. And this is the thing, what Adrian Broner are we going to get? If we've got an Adrian Broner that's locked in and he wants to have the fight and he wants to do damage in there, I expect him to win. If we get the one that's not throwing any shots, I expect him to lose. But the thing with Adrian Broner, the only times I've seen him properly not throw shots is when he's moved up in weight class and he's fighting the likes of top competition at that weight. Like Jesse Vargas out of his weight class. Manny Pacquiao was in his weight class in a sense. But Manny Pacquiao just, 70 fights and that veteran, beats people up on a daily basis, throws about a million punches around. He's always going to be wary of Manny Pacquiao. But seeing him not throw these punches, not throw shots and stuff, it's a very, very hard watch. And he just gets on my nerves as well with his off the field antics, out of the ring antics and stuff like that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Adrian Broner is going to win. I don't know how, I don't care how. He'll probably win by decision. I don't think he's going to stop Blair Cobbs. But stranger things have happened. But if Blair the Flair wins, I'm not going to be like, oh my days, Blair the Flair Cobbs beat Adrian Broner. No, I won't really. It's not that type of party. Adrian Broner has been very sparsely active. He's had about 7 fights in the last 10 years. He's not even had a fight a year. I give him the pandemic year, fine. But after that, when he fought in 2000, I think he fought 2021, and we didn't see him again until 2023. I mean, that's just, it's inconsistent, and it's just ring rust. And these type of things do not help you as a boxer in the ring. It does not help. Always goes missing. Fought Manny Pacquiao 2019, didn't fight again until 2021. After that, didn't fight again until 2023. And now a year later, he's fighting Blair Cobbs. This is the most active he's been in the past 5 years. One fight a year. Who knows? He's been training hard, he says. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to pick Adrian Broner to win. But I will not be surprised if Blair the Flair actually wins. And by knockout even. He might knock him out. The southpaw killer is the straight right hand. But when you're fighting from the southpaw against the orthodox, you can kill that guy with the straight left hand. That straight left is right there available for you. If you get your footwork right and lead foot position is in a good place, you could really land that left hand, and he flings it like a bowler, overhand, like he's bowling a cricket ball. That's how he throws that left hand. He throws it like he's bowling a cricket ball. So with that being said, I will still go for Adrian Broner to win by points. We'll see what happens. Take it easy, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.